This is the Louie T Network.
Who else could it be but me, Doorman? Louie T, welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. And this is the NFL's Power Grid. Week number 11 is upon us, and week 10 didn't offer a lot in the way of movement, so everything is pretty much status quo. Teams took care of business. Weren't a lot of huge head-to-head matchups, so not a lot of changes. There are a few moves in the NFL's Power Grid, so we'll get right to them as we jump into the list for week number 11. And the same three teams occupy the bottom three spots, as the Raiders are still the only winless team in the league, so they're still number 32. At 31, you still have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, weren't able to get it done at home versus the Atlanta Falcons, still a one-win team. And you have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who also weren't able to get it done. They were over in London, couldn't beat the Cowboys. They're on their bye week now. They're still a one-win team as well. So you move on to the rest of the league, and you start at 29 this week. Tennessee Titans down a spot from 28 a week ago. Weren't able to get it done on the road versus the Ravens. They're a struggling football team trying to find some answers. They lose again, don't score a lot of points. They're number 29 now on the list, down from 28 a week ago. You go to number 28. It's the Chicago Bears. Here's a team that we thought coming off the bye week, it was pretty bad. New England put it to them. You're thinking, okay, they go on the bye, they'll figure some things out, they'll come back a better football team because the Packers are up next. They get drubbed again off the bye and look even worse than they did going into the bye. This is a bad Chicago Bears football team right now, and they're down 2 spots to number 28 in the NFL's Power Grid. You go to number 27. It's the New York Jets, up 2 spots from 29 a week ago. Here's a Jets team. They inserted Michael Vick into the starting lineup. He gets it done at home versus Pittsburgh. Still a huge win for the Jets. Builds their confidence a little bit. They're up 2 spots at number 27. Up another spot this week is the Atlanta Falcons. They were able to get it done, coming up huge on the road versus Tampa Bay. Not hard to do, but they still got it done. Snaps their 5-game losing streak. They're up a spot from 27 a week ago to 26. Are the Falcons down a spot? Are the Carolina Panthers? They continue their free fall as they are now down to number 25 on the NFL Power Ranking. This was a team at the beginning of the season up toward the top of this ranking list, and they just can't find their way, get their footing in 2014, as they're now 25th, down from 24 a week ago. Redskins on a bye week, and by virtue of just being still, they actually move up a spot to 24, and so not much has changed for this team. Even though they were on a bye week, they still are able to find a way to go up to 24. The next 4 teams, status quo from a week ago. Giants lose on the road at Seattle. No shame in that. They're still at 23. Rams still at number 22, despite losing on the road to the best team currently in the league, in the Arizona Cardinals. Again, no shame in that. They're at 22. 21, Texans holding down that spot. They were on a bye week, so we'll see the Texans as they have crowned a new starting quarterback in Ryan Mallett. Let's see how he fares in week number 11. And the Minnesota Vikings, also on a bye week, did not play, did not move. They're still at number 20 on this list. So you go to number 19, and you find the New Orleans Saints here, down 4 spots. Huge spot for this team in week 10. They had an opportunity to not only elevate themselves in their own division, which is pretty bad, but also had a chance to really put some serious dirt on the 49ers in their coffin. Couldn't do it. 49ers able to escape with the W. Hence, the New Orleans Saints are now number 19, down 4 spots from 15 a week ago. They were trending upwards. That put a serious halt to their rise here in the NFL's Power Grid. You go on to number 18. It's the Cincinnati Bengals, one of the most inconsistent teams in this league. The Bengals have been this season, and they didn't get it done on Thursday Night Football. Huge spot, everybody's watching, and Andy Dalton puked all over himself. And so this team down 5 spots from 13 a week ago to number 18. They were embarrassed at home within the division. That was a tough one to swallow. You go to 17, San Diego Chargers. San Diego Superchargers come in at 17, down a spot. Even though they were on their bye week, down a spot as they have been struggling. They continue their free fall again. This team was just a month ago at number 1 in this power grid. They're now at number 17, down another spot in week number 11. You go to number 16, it's the Miami Dolphins. No shame in going on the road and losing to one of the best teams in the league, in the Detroit Lions. They had this game, let it slip through their fingers, but it's still a competitive football team in the Dolphins. Huge Thursday night football contest within the division versus the Buffalo Bills at home. They have to get that one. They're down 2 spots from 14 to 16 this week. You go to 15. Speaking of which, huge Thursday night game. Talking about Miami has to win. Buffalo needs that one in the worst way. They come in at number 15, down 5 whole spots. They had cracked the top 10 last week. They are not able to get it done at home versus Kansas City. Had every opportunity in the world to get it done. 3 trips into the red zone, over for this Bills team, including a fumble going into the end zone on the 1-yard line by Bryce Brown. And so this team finds themselves down a whole 5 spots on the NFL's power grid at 15. You look at San Francisco, they're up 5 spots. What a monumental win the 49ers got in week number 10 versus the New Orleans Saints. They had to have it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and they got it in overtime, 27-24. So they're up 5 spots from 19 a week ago up to 14. They need to get on their horse. They're getting Aldon Smith back this week. They found out some pretty bad news in the fact that Patrick Willis won't be back, but they've got to find a way to get it done through these 49ers. They're up to 14 in the NFL power ranking this week. You go to 13, Baltimore Ravens. Didn't do much. All they did was beat the Tennessee Titans, but because of a lot of the movement of teams in front of them, losses by the Dolphins, and the Chargers didn't play, and the Cincinnati Bengals lost, and New Orleans lost. Because of all of those teams losing in front of them, they were able to elevate themselves 5 whole spots by just winning at home versus the Tennessee Titans. So they go from 18 to 13 do these Baltimore Ravens. You go to number 12. Here's a team that had it going. They were winning. They were winners of 3 straight. They were trending upward. We're all the way inside the Elite 8 were these Steelers. And then they go on the road and lay an egg versus the Jets. And for that, you drop 5 spots down from 7 all the way to number 12. And so that's a tough loss for the Steelers. Again, much like Cincinnati, they've been inconsistent this season. You don't know what you're getting from week to week with this Steelers team. They've got a big one on Monday night versus the Titans. If you can't beat the Titans, whether it's home or away, and this one is on the road, you can't beat the Tennessee Titans, you've got a serious problem if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers. You go to number 11. Probably the most impressive win of week number 10 was this Cleveland Browns team on the road in the jungle, 24-3, total domination every which way you slice it. This team started that game and finished it with intensity, got it done on the road. And that was a huge road victory, and hence they had the largest leap on the NFL's power grid in week number 11, up 6 spots from 17 a week ago all the way to number 11. This team is playing some good football this season. Mike Pettin, definitely in the running for head coach of the year in 2014. You go to number 10, Indianapolis Colts up 2 spots. Despite being on a bye week, this team has been playing competitive football, good football all season long. Leads the league in points scored. They're doing it all on offense. And so this team is at number 10 right now as it stands in week number 11. You go to number 9 on this list. It's the Dallas Cowboys, up from number 10 a week ago, up 1 spot. Able to take care of business over in London. And so now they're on their bye week at 7-3, sitting in a good spot. This is a team that could make a run down the stretch in the Dallas Cowboys, sitting at number 9 on the NFL's power grid. You go to number 8, Kansas City Chiefs, getting it done on the road versus the Buffalo Bills in a tough spot. The Chiefs got it done. Wasn't pretty. It was gritty. It was a W. And they had to force turnovers to get it done, but that's what they did, and they get it done on the road. Huge win for them. They go up 1 spot from 9 to 8 as the Chiefs crack the Elite 8 for the first time here in 2014 on the NFL's power grid. You go to number 7, it's the Green Bay Packers. They're up 1 spot from 8 to 7. Their demolition and demolishing of the Chicago Bears was epic. And so they took care of business in a rout on Sunday Night Football versus their hated rivals, the Bears. And so now they go up from 8 to 7, looking to continue to play some solid football. This Green Bay Packers team, very scary when they've got it clicking on all cylinders like they did on Sunday Night Football. You go to number 6, it's the Denver Broncos, and none of these teams have changed from a week ago. All took care of business or were on a bye week, so none of this has changed. And so Denver remains at number 6. Number 5, Seattle Seahawks took care of business versus the Giants. Number 4, Eagles took care of business on Monday Night Football versus the Panthers. Number 3, Detroit Lions in a hard-fought victory. Got it done in the waning moments of their game versus the Miami Dolphins. And what was one of the best games of week number 10. They got it done, so they remain at number 3. Patriots off on a bye week, and so they didn't change. They're still at number 2. And the Arizona Cardinals, right now, still your gold star team despite having a huge injury. They won the game, but they may have lost the war in week number 10 as Carson Palmer goes down, done for the season, torn ACL. In comes Drew Stanton, saves the day, keeps it going. However, you're not going to play the St. Louis Rams every week. You're not going to play the Giants, which are the 2 teams he's beaten on the season. This is a big injury for an Arizona Cardinals team that had it on tilt at 8-1. And so right now they're playing great football at 8-1. They feel like they're in a great spot. They have all the confidence in the world in Drew Stanton. But tell you what, it's going to be tough. A lot of their games within the division are coming up shortly. And they haven't been on the road at all in the division yet. Playing 2 home games against San Francisco and now St. Louis. They've got to go to Seattle. They've got to go to San Francisco. They've got to go to St. Louis. We're going to find out just how much confidence this team has in Drew Stanton moving forward. But they're still holding down the #1 spot on NFL's Power Grid. Whether your team's hot or cold, up or down, they're somewhere to be found on the NFL's Power Grid. I'll see you next week.